Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at XRP, double check a few important factors and just kind of talk a little bit about the current situation at hand. We're in a descending type of trend and we've basically tested and potentially broken below our kind of larger term ascending trend. So maybe hard to follow. I'll try to kind of explain what I mean by that, but we're below some key level resistances here, and that's generally not a favorable sign. And we are technically establishing lower highs and lower lows on the slightly larger time frame. So we'll talk about that. First things first, we're going to go with liquidation, kind of recognize that. Hit the like button, comment below, help me grow the channel, but also help grow your portfolio with a nice, awesome exchange. Link down below. No KYC or VPN for these guys. Awesome trading bonus here with Bitunix. Check them out. We've been trading with them for almost 2 years now. They've been phenomenal. And they're awesome to our community. Thank you again. So take a look here at liquidation. This is I pointed this out before. This has been pretty consistent. Between 230 and 225 is that local liquidation range. That's basically where our take profit target is for our short position we have open with an average entry of 240 on XRP. So that kind of gives you some perspective. We're more likely to pull back than go up based on that simple sentiment. Now, you don't take trades based on that, but that is just something that is there. And it's important to recognize as Bitcoin pulls back, we might see the continuation lower for XRP. From a macro perspective, though, once more, 225 is that close approximation of that heavy concentration liquidation. There's some in the range of $2 or $3 billion there. So if we take a look here, this is what's shifted here. And this is something you want to recognize when you take a trade of this coin. We've shifted bearish. Now, it doesn't mean we're just going to drop like a rock, but it does imply that more shorts are shorting this coin than longs are, right? We have long liquidation delta is in the red, effectively telling us we have more shorts in play. So that kind of lets you know that taking a long right now may not be the best call because the bulls have lost control and they're conceding, and the bears are starting to take control. Speaking of control, we have the most amount at 260. That's that point of control here for us, that open interest area from a macro perspective, but also locally at 238 to 240, okay? So we're below that resistance here, reinforcing resistance at 240 and above us, okay? So take a look here at the daily time frame. Just to quickly recognize, we're testing the that's the 20-day simple moving average. And that is basically just an area of indication letting us know that we're shifting gears, but we haven't yet. In other words, all SMAs are below us. That's generally favorable, but we can see we're stochastically swinging down. MACD's diverging. RSIs are kind of hanging out there around that center line, that 50 level, and those are not really phenomenal signs. So this doesn't bode super well for this coin, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad either, right? We're kind of in that transition. Usually these transitions you don't really want to trade, okay? Now, at this point, we take a look at the 4-hour time frame. We're working our way down. We're below both moving averages, the 20 and the 50, and yet we remain above the 200. So we're kind of compressing into this range. As you can see, we're getting fairly well range bound here at this point. And generally when you range and you derive from the upside, the range continues to break down because the bears are slowly gaining control and the bears are losing it, okay? So my speculation is we're going to see a bit of a pullback there to that 225 range if Bitcoin continues to pull back. Bitcoin maintains its current range. We're probably going to continue to stay range bound. And if Bitcoin goes back to that 112 to 114K range, which has a lot of liquidation there, we'll probably see XRP break its local range. So a lot of ranging is happening right now with certain coins, this one specifically. We're also ranging here close to our macro point of control at 240. That's been a consistent resistance for us and or support depending on what side you're on. So I know it seems kind of crazy how I'm talking about a lot of contradictory stuff, but that's how trading is. You got to recognize that when coins are giving you directions where it's pointing up and down at the same time, it's generally best not to trade, okay? Now, I'm confident that we're going to see Bitcoin retrace a little bit further and XRP pull back a little bit more. So I'm leaving our short position open. I may consider securing some profits before the weekend just to be safe, but it really depends on how Bitcoin closes today. We reclaim 110K for Bitcoin. I think there was a good chance we're going to see a good green weekend. If so, maybe not a good idea to short, right? It's kind of that whole thing. But for right now, a lot of conflicting information. So I don't really love what I see here for XRP. I generally wouldn't favor either direction at this point. It feels more so if we don't break this range that we're going to go down. But Bitcoin can, 110 or higher, then there's a solid chance we're going to see some altcoins do well. Keep in mind, this is a 3-day holiday weekend, folks. It's going to be interesting to say the least, and we'll see how that works out. But no trade is generally the best trade if you're ever unsure. So don't forget to remember that. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I'll post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll have a short coming up here soon that'll be available here as well. And we'll go and talk about what's necessary at that time. Between now and then, I hope you all have a good one. Stay safe out there. We'll see you soon. Take care.